Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Oppenheimer. I am the Land Program Manager at the Hill Country Alliance. I'm going to take a few minutes to give you a very short, very concise update on a new project to advance collaborative conservation in the Southern Hill Country in a manner that benefits agricultural working lands, natural resources, and the training mission of Camp Bullis. For those who are unfamiliar with Camp Bullis is a military installation that's part of Joint Base San Antonio. To give you a little bit of reference, and it might be hard to see the slide with the amount of light we've got in the afternoon, but there's a bunch of red here, which is the development emanating from the north side and west side of San Antonio. We've got Canyon Lake. Can y'all see that in the back? That there's a lake, kind of, sort of. Canyon Lake here. Okay, I'll be a little more interactive. We've got Northern Bexar County here. We've got Comal County here, and we've got Kendall County way up there, just to give you a little bit of orientation. So, what was the impetus? Usually something special needs to happen to motivate a bunch of people who are accustomed to doing things in the way that they're comfortable to look up and say, by gosh, we should form a network. And so in our case, there is a really compelling funding opportunity called a Sentinel landscape. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of a Sentinel landscape. There should be very few hands. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. The Sentinel landscape program was founded in 2013, created by the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the U.S. Department of Interior. And these three departments came together recognizing that there's a natural dovetailing or even marriage between doing conservation in a manner that preserves agricultural working lands and natural resources in a way that can strengthen military readiness. So Camp Bullis, just like we as individuals and families and communities, relies on water. They need drinking water just like we do, and they get the bulk of their water from the aquifer beneath them in Northern Bexar County. And so for them, water is important. They're also concerned about encroachment. This is one of the fastest growing regions, of course, in the entire state of Texas and even United States. And so looking at, where and how can we do conservation to reduce encroachment around the base? How can we preserve dark skies? We heard a presentation this morning about dark skies and how they're important for bird migration. We know they're also important for public health, for our regional economies, and our quality of life, but they're also really important to provide dark skies for nighttime training. So there's a really remarkable nexus between the types of natural resource issues that we in this room care about and how those can support and sustain the military mission of Camp Bullis. If we are successful in achieving this designation, which we'll know in December, there are a few key things that will happen. The first is this federal coordinating committee comprised of those three departments will provide funding for a full-time cat herder to coordinate a partnership for multiple years, which is huge to find that type of capacity funding. The second great aspect is that you really gain high prioritization when throwing your hat in the ring for a variety of federal grants. And the third is you get a tremendous amount of flexibility to match federal dollars with federal dollars. So really compelling program. The reason many of you might not be familiar with this program is because there are only 7 Sentinel landscapes in the entire country. Guess how many in Texas? 0. So we are trying to become the first Sentinel landscape in Texas. All right, I'm running a little behind, so I'm going to speed through these last couple of slides. So again, we're in the southern part of the Hill Country. We've brought together a bunch of partners to discuss where are the commonalities, where are the important conservation equities, where are the important military equities to make this all happen. And through a very lengthy collaborative form of analysis, we identified all these great conservation equities and military equities, and through that analysis decided that if we're going to be successful again, thinking about the agricultural working lands and the natural resources and sustaining the military mission of Camp Bullis, we need to be thinking truly at a landscape level. And so this red line, which you may or may not be able to see, is our project area, which again was informed based on those military and conservation equities. In terms of surface water, it spans a portion of the Medina River, the upper San Antonio River, and a good section of the Guadalupe River. In terms of our aquifers, we've got the recharge zone right here, contributing zone right there. A lot of endangered species, critical habitat in that focal area as well. Last slide. So again, this is a fairly new project. We started last year, really spearheaded by the Alamo Area Council of Governments, Texas A&M's Natural Resources Institute, and Hill Country Alliance coming together. We've since engaged a partnership of nearly 40 partners, which ranges from the Kendall County Soil and Water Conservation District to FEMA, to Joint Base San Antonio, to our friends at the Comal County Conservation Alliance. Literally, we have about 40 partners engaged. We've affirmed our shared goals and strategies and governance structure for how we're going to work together towards these goals. We just submitted last month a 56-page full proposal to a federal coordinating committee, again comprised of the Departments of Defense, Agriculture, and Interior, and we will know in December if we are to be the first Sentinel landscape in Texas. What's cool is we heard a presentation earlier from our keynote speaker. I'm trying to see if she is still here. The power of networks. Regardless of whether we get this designation in December, the partners from all the relationships that we've built and conversations we've had, we're already starting to look at funding sources to advance our goals together, whether we get that designation or not. So again, the power of networks and relationships and leveraging all these different strengths is really exciting. I think that's all I've got. Do we have time for a question? No, sir. All right. Thanks, everybody.